You're listening to Thursday Night AMP on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Now we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber, even though nobody wants a pay-per-view on Sunday, least of all me. But from the bottom to the top, Luke Harper versus Randy Orton. We'll get real quick thoughts on this so everybody can go home. So, Abby, what do you think? Jason?
Randy Orton because Luke Harper is
I like Luke Harper.
I liked him when he was Brody Lee, so I still like him now.
Yeah,
don't think he's going to win.
Shared your opinion, yeah.
Yeah. Just because I like him doesn't mean he's going to win. So then we got Apollo Crews and Kalisto and Dolph Ziggler. 2-on-1 handicap match.
What's the point?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I mean, seriously, what's the point? Because they don't know what to do with these three, so let's just put them in there together.
And what purpose does it serve for Ziggler, who means almost nothing at this point, if he wins? Then he's just burying two guys even further than he's buried.
Fuck him, fuck Kalisto, and fuck Apollo.
I'm not going to go that far. I still like Apollo and Kalisto, but they're definitely right at the bottom of the ladder along with him, and it's doing nobody no favors.
I don't know what WWE is.
I would rather see Kalisto and Dolph Ziggler taking on Apollo Crews in a handicap match. That would make more sense, especially if you had Apollo Crews going over.
But, I mean, you see these things, and it's like, what are they doing? What's the purpose? And then you just have to sit back and realize there is no purpose.
There is no logic. This is WWE.
You know, there's no reason. It's there to be there.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Can we just call this pay-per-view WWE place filler?
Placeholder, yeah.
WWE, 4 reasons.
WWE, we threw it against the wall and saw what stuck.
WWE, insert match here. Speaking of which, Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. For why? Reasons.
Because reasons, yeah.
She pinned her at Royal Rumble, so that automatically means she gets a match.
Does anybody think Naomi's actually winning this?
No.
There's 2 other women's matches on the card, too.
Oh, that's right. Becky Lynch and Mickie James. And
that's the one that actually could be interesting.
Yeah, that one, at least one of these two, I want to see get some headway in the division and work her way towards challenging.
I would like to see Becky Lynch go over. Unfortunately, this being WWE, I have the sneaking suspicion they're going to put Mickie James over at the expense of Becky Lynch. But it should still be a good match.
It doesn't feel like they brought Mickie up to the main roster to do nothing. So, yeah, I feel like you're right about that.
They bring everybody else up to the main roster to do nothing.
Well, Abby's also right about that. So, fuck this match then. Who cares?
We'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about the tag team match.
Which one? There's
the cluster. There's only one tag team match.
Oh, I thought there was 2.
No, there's just one, I believe, and it's a clusterfuck. It's like a gauntlet.
With every single tag team on the damn SmackDown Live roster.
Okay,
it's
so
like
that
one
would
good
be
tag team and a bunch of suck asses.
So that would be American Alpha and Slater and Rhino and Breezango and the Usos and the Vaudevillains and the Ascension.
The Ascension is still around. My God, they haven't fired them yet.
Am I forgetting any teams though? Is that all of them?
That's
all of them.
Wow, that is a clusterfuck.
So you've got one team that's really good in American Alpha, and then a bunch of teams that I just don't give a shit about.
You know what? I almost do give a shit because I think, and Abby can correct me if I'm wrong, I think on SmackDown Live, the Ascension got their first win in like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, they did win Tuesday night.
That actually intrigued me a little bit. I was like, oh my God, they might actually do something.
I don't know why they won, but they did.
At this point, yeah, it's kind of too little too late at this point for the Ascension.
Yeah. Well, that at least led to an interesting segment on Talking Smack where Daniel Bryan revealed he was once in a tag team with one half of this team.
Which is more exciting than anything that tag team has ever done.
He tag teamed with Victor on the Indies back in 2005.
Yay.
Oh.
Apparently their team name was, and I kid you not, and I don't mean to offend you, Jason, their team name was Double Meat.
with all respect to Sean Stasiak, huh?
Yes. Oh. Anyway, Nikki Bella and Natalya, because fuck you, that's why.
Because fuck you, that's why Nikki Bella's gonna win, because Natalya, as she said, is doing the bad heel shtick.
It's not working. I don't know why they can't just let go of it.
Well, at least she's not
Is this
farting
match
anymore.
because, Natty's cat has money and John won't marry Nikki? I mean, is that the whole basis for this match?
Well, it seems like that's the way they're trying to go, but ugh.
Okay.
I
was just wondering because I can't see any other reason for it.
I believe Natalya said something to the effect of, if I wanted Cena, I could have him. And I was like, oh.
Oh. We all know where he's been. No, you don't.
Right, and I know she's trying to be a heel and get under Nikki Bella's skin, but that's not a good way to do it.
Ew.
Yeah.
Chappin'.
Oh, yes.
And we come full circle.
Well, I think our hides are all going to be chapped by this. Cena, Styles, Ambrose, Miz, Baron, and Bray in the Elimination Chamber.
Well, I like AJ Styles, but he's not going to win.
Yeah, I actually like Bray Wyatt, but I don't know. I mean, it makes more sense if Orton and Wyatt are going to feud, but are they going to actually pull the trigger on that?
Last word I heard, they were, so I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
At least Wyatt's interviews this week have been some of the most sensible. Usually he's out there in, like, Jim Jones drinking the Kool-Aid land where you're just supposed to believe what he says, whether it makes sense or not. But this time when I read an interview with him leading up to this pay-per-view, and he said, I don't care about the odds. I don't care who's supposed to win. I'm going to go in there and destroy every man, no matter how many men are left, no matter where I come in, because I'm going to dominate this whole thing, or words to that effect. It's like, oh my God, it's actual coherence coming out of his mouth.
Let's hope so, because I do not want to see Cena and Orton headline WrestleMania. I don't want to do it.
I don't think
It's
anybody
just
wants
about
that.
as bad as, Brock and Goldberg headlining WrestleMania for the Universal title.
Well, that's what's going to happen at Fastlane, is Owens is going to lose to Goldberg now that Chris opened his mouth.
Yeah, in about 30 seconds. That's what Vince wants it to do, is be a 30-second match.
Mm-hmm. To finally set up a match that lasts more than a minute and a half between Brock and Goldberg, which we got actually 10 or 15 years ago, and it wasn't any good then.
No, and it's, 15 years removed, and neither one of them can move like they used to do, and it's going to headline WrestleMania, and who the fuck cares?
Somebody must.
Other than Vince.
Well, what I got from that quarterly report this morning was that no matter how much we don't care about this pay-per-view, they must be doing something right because they keep on making money.
We'll see how long that continues, especially if WrestleMania this year is as bad as it was last year. We'll see how long these diehards continue buying tickets to WrestleMania sight unseen with matches unknown just because it's WrestleMania. Let it develop a reputation that it's a bad show, and we'll see how quickly things go south.
Well, me as a wrestling fan, I can still convince myself to go once every 3 or 4 years just for the spectacle of the whole thing. But it's definitely not something that I feel like I have to do every year now, which back in the 2000s, there was a time where if I didn't go to WrestleMania, it felt like something was wrong. And it's just not that big to me like it used to be.
And yeah,
because
Randy
you
Orton
can see all the matches on Raw.
That's part of it.
But you got Randy Orton, who wins the Royal Rumble, and his reward is he gets a title shot at SummerSlam. But then, meanwhile, 5 guys who didn't win the Royal Rumble get a shot at the title next month because reasons.
I don't know why, but suddenly when you said that, I had a picture of Oprah Winfrey in my head. You get a title shot, and you get a title shot, and everybody gets a title shot.
Look under your seat. There's a title shot right there.
Oh, yes. So I think we're going to have to wrap it up at that point so everybody can get to feeling better and get back for the post-Elimination Chamber show next week. Yay.
Woohoo.
Well, I'll be so overjoyed and overcome with fantastic 6-star matches.
I'll probably have more to say about New Beginning than I will about Elimination Chamber.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking of which, Abby, Top Rope Press, I'm sure they'll be covering both.
Oh, yes. Top Rope Press. You can find me on Twitter at Abby A. New Japan World, I'll plug that. I will plug Progress and Rev Pro and DDT, which you can get for the rest of the month free if you haven't already done that. Very good streaming services to check out.
Yes, indeed. Lots of choices out there. Even Flow Slam if you want to go that route and check out some Evolve because they got a couple of big cards coming up too.
Flow Slam to me just isn't worth the money.
Okay, I understand that, but for some people it might be. But anyway, I'll get some other plugs here. Jason, a hummus recipe. Do you have one for us on veggie bending?
It'll be coming soon. I can do a hummus recipe. I can do a falafel recipe. I can do a chana masala recipe. It is all about the chickpeas lately. So there will be some chickpea recipes coming soon to veggiebending.wordpress.com, my vegan cooking blog.